Well, hello there. This is Vitchuals the Chess Noob, learning and having fun with chess. Merch at chessnoob64.com. This is a game of the Vienna Game Max Lange Defense Vienna Gambit, so the Max Lange Vienna Gambit. And I'm really interested to show you this game because it's of an opening I'm actually trying to learn a little bit more about. Now, the usual Vienna Gambit that you see is in the Folkby variation line. However, this Vienna Gambit can be played in the Max Lange Defense as well. Well, let's go take a look. Now, in this game, I had the white pieces, of course, and I started with e4. Now, my opponent, from India, rated a little bit below me, decided to lead with the Nimzowitsch Defense. Now, against this, there's a number of good potential moves, like, for example, d4 makes a lot of sense, but I usually play knight c3 because this often baits the opponent to playing e5, which of course they did here, and this basically transposes to the Vienna Game Max Lange Defense. If they played e5 to my e4 and then the symmetrical knight to my Vienna Game. Now, the Vienna Game Max Lange Defense Vienna Gambit is where you immediately play f4 here. So Vienna Gambit in the Max Lange Defense. Now, according to the evaluation, this is not as good as the Folkby variation. However, when you look at the Lichess community database of lower rated games of Blitz and Rapid, in this position, this line is actually the most winning line at the beginner intermediate levels, as you can see here. And in fact, the win ratio is 54% to 42%, which is actually really, really good. Now, in this game, my opponent decided to not immediately take and develop instead, which is great because here we actually have a potential pattern, a trick, if you like, that actually works really well. So here, we can just straight out take. And the thing is to recognize that that knight isn't actually defending the pawn. The best move here, I think, for black is actually to develop d6. However, it's so tempting because, they're thinking that the pawn's already defended. It's basically a blunder and it's about +4, in fact, at high depth. So it's much worse than what a low depth stockfish would think because we immediately have d4 and basically it's a fork, and basically black now loses a piece, and basically they if you play well, they never recover from the opening. So here they decide to move the bishop, save the bishop by pinning the knight. We can take. The best move here for black is to play queen actually to h4, which of course comes with check, also with an attack here, and basically here we need to move our king. Basically Bomb Cloud, that's now defended, unpins the knight, and the queen is not that well placed. It's liable to immediately being attacked. So in this position, black has got some compensation because it's kind of tricky for white to play, but we're still ahead. So that's what they had to do. However, black decided to play queen to e7 with an attack here. That's not the best move. Immediately, I play the other knight, basically to stop that check, also to provide defense. And pretty much it's pretty bad for black from here on in. So here I decide to give a check. I was hoping we could just trade pieces. So trade trades. I want to trade down. Now I ask the question, what is that bishop doing there? Push again. There we go. Knight, basically almost plays itself here to some level. They decide to long castles, which is a sort of brave thing to do because I now take. And after that, there is now a semi-open c-file. King is a bit exposed. And basically my idea is I'm going to try to attack down the c-file if I can. So I now short castles. So now opposite side castling. Basically my king is very safe. And basically, effectively my goal is to attack the opponent's king. So they bring their queen out. Yep, it's fine. Potentially trading queens is good. They decide they didn't want to do that. Looks like they're attacking that rook on a1. However, I knew that them taking that rook cannot possibly be good. So I just ignored it take. So come on, take my rook. They did. And that's in fact a blunder. In fact, this is mate in 9 at higher depth. And basically, this queen has just taken itself out of the game. Can't take because obviously it's defended. You know, they could potentially go back here or go back there, but no, well, they can't go back here, can they? Because that's they'll just lose a piece. I suppose they could go all the way back to that square if they really wanted to. But you know, that queen is kind of out of the game. It's not attacking. It's not defending. Their only active piece. It is not good. So here, I thought about giving the immediate check. I couldn't see a checkmate down that line. Mate in 9 is pretty far. So I didn't play that. So that was the best move. I decided to bring another piece into the attack. And you can see Stockfish thought that was inaccurate. They thought the immediate check first was good. They developed their knight. Yep, sure, that's fine. I now give the check. King is forced to slide this way now because, of course, it sort of defends. So one of the things is if I played the queen move first, the king could have potentially come to that square. I now take with a, fork of those 2 rooks. What is black going to do? They make a mistake. They actually needed to counterattack the queen. Here, again, there's a forced mating line. I basically take that rook and basically black doesn't have enough defenders of their back rank. So they take, look, they could have taken the knight. It doesn't matter because queen to c7, check. Here, my opponent opted to resign. They've only got 1 forced move, and then that would be mate. So good game, GG. The big takeaway from this game is to try the Max Lange Defense Vienna Gambit. It is not as good as the Falkby variation, but it is actually the best line and the most winning line in the Max Lange Defense. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.